Thank you to tune in to RONYTV podcast, local news and international news. Let's begin. DeKalb County residents remain concerned about the potential for data centers to be built in their community. The county has received an application from PCC DeKalb for a special land use permit for a 1 million square foot facility at 4358 and 4280 Lovelace Place. This would be in small lot residential and mixed-use low-density zoning districts. We continue. Marquetta J. Bryan has been appointed by Mayor Andre Dickens as the new city attorney for the city of Atlanta. She succeeds Patrice Perkins Hooker, who is leaving the position ahead of Dickens' next term. More news. Major Georgia media have covered Marjorie Taylor Greene's reflection on her 5 years in the House, her public split with Trump, and her plans not to seek another office for now, even though she leaves open the possibility of political involvement. We have some statement of her. Stay tuned.
For the Republican Party and President Trump for years, spending a lot of the time on the road, investing millions of dollars, helping get Republican candidates elected, and helping President Trump return to the White House after a historic election in November of 2024. I've also supported the Republican Party, paying all of my membership dues every single Congress, which is significantly important, and really working hard to bring the policies forward through legislation that our voters very much want to see made into law and promoted. However, when it came down to standing with women who were raped at 14 and 16 years old, women who were victims of Jeffrey Epstein, and others, they say there are others, the President Trump called me a traitor. And that was shocking, and really completely outside the bounds of anything that should have happened. And so for me, this became an important decision between myself and my family. And it wasn't something I took lightly. To me, that is where my loyalty lies, is to those policies and the people who elected me. And I very much appreciate the district, and I've never changed any of my policy views. However, I think that for the president to call me a traitor for standing with these women, I honestly don't really care what his opinion is. I know I did the right thing. Standing with rape victims is something that should be the easiest thing to do. It shouldn't be political. And unfortunately, it was turned into just a gigantic argument and stall tactics between the president and the speaker. And it was unfortunate to see that happen.
We continue. 9 people were hospitalized after an inmate set a fire in a shower on an unrenovated floor of the Fulton County Jail. We continue. A student was stabbed in the eye during a fight at North Atlanta High School, and an adult was accidentally shot in a vehicle during dismissal at Stephenson High School in DeKalb County. 2 people died in a fiery single-car crash on I-75 in Atlanta, and a car slammed into a DeKalb County home, causing extensive damage and injuring the vehicle's occupants. The Department of Justice has filed a lawsuit against the Fulton County Court Clerk over 2020 election documents. A postal worker is also accused of stealing gift cards and cash from holiday mail in Cobb County. More news: a suspect was arrested after an hours-long police standoff at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in downtown Atlanta. The details about the cause and outcome are still emerging as police continue their investigation. A new report shows Waymo self-driving cars in Atlanta passed a stop school buses multiple times, prompting a federal safety review and possible legislative action. Fani Willis is scheduled to testify before a special Georgia State Senate committee that is investigating her conduct, particularly around the prosecution of former President Donald Trump and related legal decisions. This is occurring despite legal wrangling over whether the committee truly has subpoena power, and Willis's attorneys are challenging the basis of the subpoenas. A viral video shows a mother in a North Georgia restaurant claiming she was asked to leave while breastfeeding, drawing attention to public breastfeeding rights and local social norms. Senator Warnock renewed his push for enhanced job training programs through a bipartisan bill aimed at making education and workforce development more accessible, especially for Georgia workers facing skills gaps. More news: an estimate of 35 people have been reported killed in the Moroccan Atlantic coastal city of Safi after intense, sudden torrential rainfall caused flash floods. The Botswana government has launched an official investigation into reports that 2 young Botswana men were deceived into joining the Russia-Ukraine war after being promised what appeared to be legitimate military training opportunities abroad. In Egypt, the 2 colossal alabaster statues of Pharaoh Amenhotep III, famously known as the Colossi of Memnon, were officially unveiled in Luxor, Egypt, following nearly 2 decades of restoration. We continue the investigation into the deaths of director-actor Rob Reiner, 78, and his wife, photographer and producer Michelle Singer Reiner, 68, is ongoing. The couple was found dead at their home in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. In Sports Star Center, Kristaps Porzingis is expected to be sidelined as he continues to be plagued by an illness which was recently diagnosed as postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, POTS, last season. More news: the Braves have been active in the offseason, making significant additions to their roster. They signed reliever Robert Suarez to a 3-year, $45 million contract and brought back closer Raisel Iglesias on a 1-year, $16 million deal to bolster the bullpen. 2 Georgia football freshmen, Dontrell Glover and Bo Walker, were arrested on misdemeanor shoplifting charges. That's the conclusion. Stay tuned on DeKalb 25 Television. Dondon 604 editorial is next.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
Thank you, people, to tune in to RONYTV podcast. We on DeKalb 25, so we happy to be there. So what is RONYTV podcast? So most likely RONYTV podcast is a resume of all the all the news related to GA, related to Atlanta, and related to DeKalb County and all the surrounding area. So if it's your news, it's my news. I'm concerned too, So we're gonna have a wonderful, wonderful show, and we also have a show down in California also, but for only Californians, so only for Los Angeles, But we are here now, DeKalb 25, and we're gonna be, give you the news, give you, the sensitive, pointing what you need to know, especially if you don't have time. And that's convergence too. There's a lot of convergence and the information. So we're going to take the important stuff and provide that to you on DeKalb 25. So don't forget also, you can watch that on Comcast Cable Channel 25 and DeKalb County also. So let's start it. What's happening in the news? What's happening in the news in ATL? What's happening in the news? What's happening? Most likely, what I heard. Let me talk to my southern accent. So most likely, again, they say someone was tased in a Fulton County school bus. So imagine if that guy, that school, school police officer had a real gun. So they say they're gonna go into an investigation. So they remove him from active duty. So I guess it's with pay, So it's fortunate that happened like that. But I was asking also. I believe Georgia is a constitutional carry state. That's mean anybody could carry gun. The citizen could carry gun, openly or conceal. So without a state issue WCL weapon carry license. I guess there's restriction also for certain location, school, government, and all that. Yeah, Georgia is an open state, so it's a far west out there. You know what I'm saying? It's a big far west in the southern state. But we're gonna pray for these people. If they have mental health, mental issue, they should not have a gun. So, you don't need a permit. I know you don't need a permit for handguns or rifle, shotgun. That's why, it's sometimes, when you're driving sometimes and they got that on their trunk, One time I went to the grocery. I saw that dude, that dude came out from his... going to the grocery. I think it's Home Depot. Yeah, simply Home Depot. For my bad, it's not the grocery. Even though I'm sure pretty soon they're gonna have grocery at Home Depot. I saw him because I was parking my car, but I saw him. He had his gun in his car and opened the trunk and put the gun in his car. I said, "Wow." What's going on? You're going to Home Depot and you need a gun. Wow. That's Georgia. That's Atlanta. You got to be careful. Those skinny jeans people, you got to be careful. Don't test them. They're going to get, you're going to get, and other news. So they saying there will be no celebration at no traditional peach drop celebration. They will be retired this year. So they said the city will host a new countdown over ATL. Okay, so you guys don't believe in Christmas anymore. I guess they don't believe in Christmas. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't believe in Christmas. That's being said, I guess everybody's cutting the budget. It's so times are changing. I remember as a young kid, my mom focused in Christmas. Tree, maybe like the tree was like tall, more than 6 feet. That tree was more than 6 feet, touching the ceiling. So it's so it's different. A different time. It's different time. So in other news, so most likely they're saying there's no I don't know if there's a parade, but they say also, this is so sad again, there's a college football player dies in a fire. Isaiah Taylor is 21, from Georgia Military College football. He said he was visiting family in Stone Mountain, died in a house fire. So they're still investigating. My condolences to all the family for Taylor. It's so sad, He's got a young, promising career, and die like that. So yeah, it's about that time too. At that time, you got to be careful, especially in Christmas time, holiday time, December time. You know what I'm saying? It's getting cold. I don't know what's they say they're investigating, but you got to be careful. The heater, make sure it's properly. Some people have some heaters, but they have also the cable, the wire also heating. So you got a long heater, but you put the wire in front of the the panel where it's heating. So that could spark a fire. Imagine you sleep, you forget about that, you put the wire thinking like you got to arrange properly the wire so not in front of the heater and the back, where the vents come in. You got to be careful. I'm sure, and get also a smoke detector when you're sleeping. Some people sleeping deep, get some smoke detector also. Yeah, so I'm fortunate to be here, people, and on DeKalb 25. What I do, that's all my life. I used to be the program director at People TV. So shout out to all my people. My co-worker, my colleague, especially the president, Patricia Creighton. She gave me a chance, Patricia, she's a hell of a woman. She's a hell of a woman, a hell of a, she is, she gave me my chance, I think she run also for city council, but I don't know if she's still running. But Pat, we love you. Thank you again to give me my chance, but we have to move on, and I think it will be a good if also, I don't know the ideas, but People TV could have a show on DeKalb 25. I think that would be a good idea. So shout out to also all the colleague out there. Terrence Williams. Terrence was the operation manager. Also, I miss you, T. What's going on? So so T was there, and I think he lives in Stone Mountain, and I don't know, but we're gonna go ahead and help them. So that's what it is. So don't forget, people, to tune in to DeKalb 25. Don't forget to tune in to DeKalb 25. And let me put a quick break, and we'll be right back. Thank you again to come back to Ronnie TV podcast. For those of you who listen to me to your smartphone, to your smart TV, to your Apple Watch, thank you again to tune in to DeKalb 25 and Comcast Cable. To come back. It's unfortunate. You got to be careful to don't put the fire. So in other news, this one is, I guess everybody listened to the show. They saying, like, in Savannah, there was a shooting stemmed from a adult website play date. So they had they had book. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. A couple had book, to meet a swinger website. So they say, so it's an adult swimming swinger website. So they apparently you book online. You book if you want to participate. So swinger already, it's usually it's in a club. Like I told you, I don't go there, but I heard that was in an apartment. That was not in a club. So I heard the person, I guess they gathering together. They decide to go to the apartment. So at some point, there was a district. This end is one of the person was this. I guess they had an argument. Disrespect. They said someone disrespect, but put in mind they were naked. So, but the woman had bring the boyfriend. And saying, can I bring somebody? I guess just to protect the woman, So most likely there was a disrespectful, somebody felt disrespectful, I guess it's the boyfriend of the girlfriend, not the host, but the people who decide to come to the apartment. The boyfriend was felt disrespect, and they suggest, they say, hey, let's leave, baby, So they said the host is crazy, is talking stuff, So allegedly again. So as they putting their clothes, I guess they were naked, they were drinking. They're just like that. The host shot. I'm laughing, but just like that, the host shot the boyfriend, and so the boyfriend trying to, they had put their clothes, but as they putting their clothes, they shot him, allegedly. So the host shot the man, the boyfriend. So she had time to go to the hospital, but when she was driving, the boyfriend was deceased. So as you know, they already know the address and all that. It was easy to arrest the person. So it's still under investigation. That's being said, I'm not a swinger, but it's really, it's really, you got to be careful. In other news, they're saying a postal worker accused of stealing reward card. It's always happened like that in I guess in holiday. You guys, you're a postal worker, and you decide to steal. Why you decide to steal? Why? I don't understand that. You're a postal worker, So they said they're using AT&T reward card, allegedly again. So they mentioned saying multiple customer informed the United States Police Service officer of Inspector General that they had never received a reward card. They had never received that. Like, you see, you guys waiting for, they send you a gift. Hey, hey, cousin, I send you a $25 gift card. I send you a $50 gift card. So they never received that. The family never received that. The friends never received that. How could you do that? You're a postal worker. Surveillance footage at the South Atlanta sorting and delivery center allegedly captured the person. She was assigned to the customer route, and she was also stealing the gift card. So they said they charged, it's a woman, charged her with 2 counts of financial transaction and card fraud, credit card fraud. It's so sad. It's so sad. You're a postal worker. You have a good job, good benefit. I don't know if it's like that, but hey, please. I don't understand that. I do not understand that. I do not cope with that also. It's so sad. It's so sad. We made it. Thank you, DeKalb 25 and other people. Thank you, People TV also. Patricia, parents, all my listener, all my Atlanta listener, especially that club Essence venue. I used to do those interview, and also my businesswoman in crime, my partner woman in crime, Miss DB, Miss Dodo. She already know. And yeah, so most likely I'm going to be out. I'm signing out. Thank you, people, for tuning in to RONYTV podcast. I'm your host, Don 604. I'm out.